Thanks in part to the internet, we live in a global economy, and there are people who travel the globe adding value to businesses in various ways. These people are called digital nomads, and these are their stories. Relationships are the key to all aspects of life, whether you're a digital nomad or not. And one thing that I realized while doing the interviews with these digital nomads is that relationships were critical, especially that they've left the environment they were in to build their new life in a new country and traveling all around. That relationships were really that key. And even though they were only lasting for a month, 2 months, or 3 months, they became very deep relationships. And with the power of the internet, you can have now relationships with people all over the world that you've connected with, that you have something in common with. And at the end of this episode, I will share with you my story on how I've built relationships and what that's really meant to me and to my business. Now let's watch their stories.
My name is Pavel Nikolov. I'm originally from Bulgaria, the founder of Project 5X, which is this entrepreneurial house here. When I came to Chiang Mai 2 years ago, I was part of something like this already in Chiang Mai. I didn't know anything about Chiang Mai. I just knew that, okay, it's relatively inexpensive there. There's digital nomads. That's the place I need to be. That was pretty much my research done. Coming here, I realized, wow, there's actually a community of people that I can be a part of. Like, I can relate to a lot of what these people have been through, what they're saying, what their experience has been like. And for me, that was like almost like a very warm welcome. Like, I'm coming here in a house filled with digital nomads, they're working on their businesses, so all of a sudden I'm like, this is super inspiring. Lifelong friendships have started here. We helped each other a lot with our businesses. People that have different expertise tend to help each other out. Oh, very lonely, very lonely. We actually had a group circle here of men's circle and a women's circle for Valentine's Day. So about 40 people came, and that was the topic of the evening, right? The relationships as a digital nomad, how finite it is, how it's difficult, how lonely it gets, just because, again, you kind of build relationships with people, and all of a sudden 3 weeks or a month later, you know what, I'm actually leaving. It's quite difficult, yeah. Most people don't realize. They kind of see this, Instagram lifestyle of traveling and fancy, meals, but also behind it there's a very, I would say, gray reality sometimes. If you don't have the right skill set, you're not very social, it can be very, very lonely.
I do feel support from the community and you develop conversation and a phone call here and a phone call there, and then from here to there is, oh, I'm coming to Thailand next week, oh, I have a spare room, maybe I can host you, But I feel that with some people you're going to have that kind of feeling that you're missing, because as I said, it's a very lonely road, If you're surrounded with people that want the same or they're having the same lifestyle, it's very easy. The downside is that most of the digital nomads, they want to move from a country to country, so they don't bother to stay in one place for so long because they feel like they want to explore, they want to see the world. So when you're meeting someone and then he needs to go, it's really difficult. Like, I met a guy that from Mexico, but because we both not in our natural environment, and for him it was the first time that he left Mexico to travel. So the experience was overwhelming, My whole day changed because I went there and we were sitting in the same restaurant for 4 hours, talking, sharing experiences. He almost cried, and I felt like, oh my God, I feel like deep connection to the person. We share the same experience, we share the same mindset. But when you take yourself outside this comfort, and when you go on adventure, on traveling, you discover that the world is full of opportunities.
First get here and you don't know anybody,
you're definitely going to get in a motorbike accident. So just be prepared for that. Make it a small one. Don't go too fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rite of passage, I guess. Yeah, so essentially when you get here, you don't know anybody. there's events pretty much every single day where you can go and you can network, and you're not going to be like alone in your hotel room wondering like, oh, like what am I going to do? There's always something going on here.
YouTube meetups, photography meetups, drop shipping meetups, Amazon FBA meetups, Kindle publishing meetups, Digital Nomad general meetups,
Bitcoin meetups, like whatever. Like they have literally every single entrepreneurial
and people
health,
show up.
Yeah,
like,
people always show up.
You go to these things, there's at least 10 people there, quite often 60. We actually gave a talk, we presented on how to live a healthy lifestyle as a nomad in Chiang Mai at Food for Thought, which is one of the biggest meetups here.
Every Friday.
We had a crowd of over 60 people show up.
Mm-hmm. Besides the events, like you just go to a cafe and work, and you'll bump into somebody who you might know who's like also working online. So, and then you develop like obviously your friendships and your core friends from there. And it's just like back home. You hang out with your friends. You get your work done. You structure your life the way you want to live it, and you have the freedom to really do that out here and design it the way you want.
All about freedom, man.
And everybody's trying to help each other out. Like everybody wants to see each other succeed.
You have to get out of your comfort zone at the beginning to be open for other relationships. I mean, the friendships you're having are not so deep like back home because you don't have the time most of the time to set it up for 1 or 2 years because you're just meeting for maybe a couple of weeks or you're meeting for a couple of months. I think it's more easy now, but it was hard at the beginning because at the beginning you have a picture of yourself and back home everybody has a picture of you, and you realize when you're traveling nobody knows you and nobody's taking you with what you are or what you did or what you have, because they're getting to know you now and you're sitting there like everyone else and they don't know how much money you earned before or whatever what you're having back home. I'm connected with people since 4 years everywhere in the world because you see them with Facebook, you see them on Instagram, you never lose the contacts anymore. That's the interesting part of social media. I mean, it also has bad parts. But the most interesting part is that we never lose our connections. And when I'm traveling especially, I get to know that let's stay connected on Facebook. That doesn't mean I have to write every day, but I'm liking the pictures, I'm supporting maybe because I'm happy what they're doing right now. And that's the same to me. And if I'm traveling to the country at some point, I have a house now everywhere. So that people always say, Knut, don't forget you have a house in Chile. You have a house in America, no worries. Just give me a call if you're there. And that's the best thing. It's a really beautiful tool. That's what I like.
So I used to stay here. I was here for a month, and walking into the restaurant, I didn't even have to say anything. And the woman who cooked me food for a whole month looked at me, oh my God, came and gave me a big hug. And that was really nice and unexpected. Really made my heart warm. I got here on Thursday, and I was like, oh, there's a girl from Syracuse who's in my major. I think she's in Thailand teaching somewhere, but I knew that she was down south. So I just, on a whim, shot her a message. Hey, what's up? Like, I'm in Thailand. We should meet up. Where are you? And she's like, hey, I'm in Chiang Mai for the weekend. It's like, what the heck? I was like, where are you? Let's go. And so I met up with her, and she introduced me to this huge group of people from the US, and they're all teachers here. And that was like the first moment I was like, all right, let's go. I'm in the right place. And they were super cool, and we've kind of made a lot of plans for this month. That was something super cool and unexpected. Expect the unexpected, you know?
I went to a music festival, camping festival called Shambhala, and I met a ton of just beautiful souls who are now some of my closest friends. I found a creative community here that's just really supportive and uplifting. It's like everyone kind of lifts each other up instead of it being such like cutthroat competition. I don't know. I feel like everyone can win. Everyone can have a piece of the pie here.
As we've just heard from some of those digital nomads, the sense of loneliness is one of the most prevalent thing that happens to digital nomads when they're traveling, because you're by yourself. And then those relationships come and go. And I know for myself, it became almost unbearable at times, the sense of loneliness, especially in those first couple experiences that I was having, especially in Mexico City. So there were a couple things that I did to make sure that I'm not alone anymore. And one of the first things is making sure that I'm out in public, just like I am today, that I'm meeting new people, I'm sitting at a coffee shop, I'm striking up those conversations and getting to know people. I've also connected in with a community on Facebook and other ways to talk to other digital nomads and find out where they're hanging out and go meet them. That was one of the big draws of doing this documentary, is that I was able to meet a broad range of people and get to know them, and now I have this global community of friends that I can call on at any time, create business opportunities and just personal opportunities that I would never have thought of were possible if I hadn't put myself out there and got outside my comfort zone. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Digital Nomad Experience, and stay tuned for more stories from our digital nomads.